Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to go over a couple of really quick things here. So with Social Security, when you first file your claim, the first thing that happens, whether it's you filing or an attorney files, is your claim goes to your local Social Security office. So that's just whatever Social Security Administration is closest to you. They go over the technical stuff. So if you have enough work credits, if your income is within their limits, if you have a disabled widow's benefits claim that you could file, all that stuff, they check that. That usually does take them a couple of weeks to check on those things. And then they do send the claim to DDS, which is Disability Determination Services. Each office kind of does call themselves something a little bit different. Like Ohio, they call themselves Opportunities for Ohioans with Disabilities. Mouthful. Virginia calls themselves Virginia Commonwealth. And other states call themselves different things also. But it goes to DDS, and the very first thing that you should get a letter from them stating that they received your application and it's being worked on by a certain person and their phone number. Some states don't give you the direct phone number. Some states do. Some states give you their name, and other states give you an adjudicator number. An adjudicator is basically the person working on your claim at the disability office. So that's kind of the first thing that you get. The next thing that you get are at least one form. They always send out this one form to every single person who applies, which is called the function report. I'll pull up a copy of that here in a minute and show you guys what that's all about. The next thing that you'll get, if it depends on, sorry, my camera went out there, but the next thing you'll get is a work history report if you qualify for them needing one. Work history report basically goes over your work history. There's a couple of other forms that they can send out, which is a pain questionnaire, a headache questionnaire, a seizure questionnaire. Only certain people get those forms. But these forms, if they send you out any forms, they are required in order for them to make a decision. So if they go to make a decision and they do not have these forms, your claim will be denied. So it's very, very, very important that you get these forms into them. Let me get these forms pulled up. All right. So the function report, adult. Now they have different forms for minors as well. What the heck? Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out my thing here. Well, I guess you don't get to see my face during this. So, function report. They have a different one for minors also. But it goes over basic stuff. Phone number, where you live, house, apartment, shelter, if you live with friends or family, how your illnesses or injuries can limit your ability to work. Now they only give you like 4 or 5 lines, and a lot of people cannot fit exactly what's going on in those 4 or 5 lines. So you can add an additional page, just take a blank piece of paper, only fill out one side of the page, because they will not copy both sides. A lot of states send their forms to a forms processing branch, and the forms processing branch just scans the forms and sends them to the disability office. That's all that they do. So they will only scan one side of the page. It's just like a machine. It just works that way. So if you do add an additional page, only fill out one side. Now this form can be kind of intimidating. It's 8 pages long, including the or not including the 2 pages of mumbo jumbo at the very beginning. So it's a total of 10, but only 2 of them need to be filled out. They do kind of ask the same questions different ways on this form, and I get asked a lot of the times by people, are they trying to catch me in a lie? Are they trying to trick me? No, they're not. They're just testing your cognitive ability to answer questions. That's it. The only really kind of tricky thing on this is your medications down here at the bottom, at the end of the page. The name of your medication and the side effects. You only need to list the medications that you have adverse side effects from. Either it makes you sleepy, or it makes you nauseous, or it makes you dizzy, or whatever. That's the only thing you need to put on there. You can add as many additional pages as you want. Just like I said, only fill out one side of the page. Make sure to, put your name down here, the date, state, city, zip code, all that kind of stuff. There's really not too much I really feel like I have to explain with this one, other than don't be intimidated by it. It is very, very normal. They send this form out to everybody who applies. So the work history report, they need information from your past jobs in the last 15 years. So they've given you 10 slots here. Some people have more than 10 jobs in the last 15 years, so you might have to add an additional page. You do not need to add jobs that are under SGA, which is substantial gainful activity. I've mentioned this in several of my videos. So if you've only worked for McDonald's for 2 months, you do not need to put this on there. Or if you worked as a CNA for 5 hours a week, you do not need to put that on there either. So only put on the jobs that you worked full-time or more, or part-time or more, for more than a couple of months. Now, each page after this is each individual job. So you'll see job 1, job 2, job 3, job 4, job 5, etc. So with these pages, you'll need to describe each individual job. It does ask for the rate of pay and the hours per day and days per week. If you can't remember the dates on this first page, the dates when you worked, just take your very best guess, because they do have information from the IRS that shows how much money you earned when you earned it. The important thing on this form is the description. So describe this job and what you do all day. If you need more space, write in the remarks section, which is at the very end. And if you don't have enough space in there, add an extra page, like I said. But add a description. Now, don't just put, if you were a cook, don't just say, I cooked things. You have to be like, I went back and forth between the freezer or the fridge, getting food in and out, taking inventory. At the end of the night, I'd have to clean my grill, sweep, mop, take garbages out, close out the register. Everything and any little thing that you did, you need to make sure to put on here, because what they're doing is they're comparing your medical records to this form to determine if you're able to return to a job that you've had before. Okay, so just make sure you detail it as much as you can. This part right here, in this job, how many total hours each day did you walk, stand, sit, climb, stoop, kneel, crouch, crawl, handle, reach, write, or handle small objects? They do not explain how to fill this part out when they send the forms. But what you need to do, so for instance, my job, I work 8 hours a day, 5 days per week. I'll put that right up here. My job, now that I'm working at home, everything that's included in my job is literally sitting. Okay, I get up, I do the dishes, I take my dog outside, I do whatever, but that is not part of my job. My job is literally sitting at the computer talking to people. So I would put 8 hours sitting, 0 walking and standing. Now the tricky part is between the walking, standing, and sitting, those have to add up to the number of hours that you work in a day. So if you work 12 hours, they have to add up to 12. If you work 15 or 10 or 6 or 5, it has to add up to that total. The rest of them, the climbing, stooping, kneeling, crouching, etc., those you can put whatever hours on it that you want. But say you work at, let's say McDonald's again. You're a cook. Most of that is going to be standing. Now, they are not talking about breaks, where you go take a break, you go sit down, have a cigarette, do whatever you got to do. That is not considered part of your job. So if I worked at McDonald's, I honestly would probably put 8 hours standing. 0 sitting. I would maybe do 4 walking and 4 standing. That way it adds up to 8 total hours that I worked in a day. Okay, that makes sense? I hope so. If not, ask questions down in the comments below. Like I said, everything else, the kneeling, crouching, crawling, handling big objects, small objects, reaching, you can put whatever hours on that you want. Now, the lifting and carrying, you can't just say, I would take burgers from the freezer to the grill. You have to say I would carry a 20-pound box of burger patties from the freezer 20 feet to the grill and take them out and put them on the grill and cook them. Something a little bit more specific, okay? So, I mean, the rest of it, were you a supervisor? How many people did you supervise? What part of time was spent supervising people? Now, this is a percentage. Now, I am a supervisor of a team of 8 people. I would say maybe 60, no, maybe not even that much, 40% of my time is spent actually supervising other people and answering their questions and everything that they need to do. So I'd put 40% there. I do not hire or fire employees, but I am a lead worker. So consider that when filling out this form. Now, I know that I just gave you guys a whole ton of information on these forms. And there's other forms also, like the headache questionnaire, the seizure questionnaire, the pain questionnaire, which you might get if your conditions, if you have epilepsy or chronic pain or chronic migraines or whatever. Those forms, they're only maybe 2 pages. They ask, different things. The seizure questionnaire one can be a little tricky just because a lot of people who have seizures don't really remember what happened before, during, or immediately after a seizure. But you just have to do the best that you can. But again, you have to get these forms in to Social Security. Otherwise, they will deny the claim. But thank you for watching my video, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and end this. You guys have a great day.